The United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon is rallying support for an end to the war in Yemen. He needs the support of the international community and Yemen's neighbors. The United Nations was hoping to announce a ceasefire before the start of the talks, but that seems unlikely.
We still hope that the parties will observe a humanitarian pause in order to create a climate conducive to moving forward.
Yemenis are concerned that Geneva consultations might drag on, which might lead to more violence.
In regards to the UN broker talks in Geneva, we hope that something positive will come out of these meetings between the various Yemeni parties, because we want the war to be over.
Personally, I believe that the UN talks in Geneva are a waste of time, because the UN was behind the unjust resolution 2216, and they are behind the major failure in safeguarding the security and the stability in Yemen.
Saudi Arabia launched airstrikes against the Houthi fighters and their allies in March. The oil-rich kingdom accuses the rebels of destabilizing the region. A United Nations resolution passed in April called on Houthi fighters to withdraw from all Yemeni cities. Riyadh insists its military campaign will end only if that happens.
Saudi Arabia definitely, when they started the strike in Yemen, they are in it for the long haul or the long term or to achieve the goals. However, achieving goals meaning more civilians and more casualties. I think Saudi Arabia, if they see good points and good results and good compromise by the Houthis, I think Saudi Arabia will jump on board.
Marib province is where there could be more fighting if the peace talks collapse. The Houthis have gathered forces on the edge of Marib, an area rich in oil and gas.
We know that the Houthis are planning a major offensive to take over Marib. There's fighting on the outskirts of the city, but the Houthis won't be able to control the province.
Thousands of Yemenis have fled their homes. The lucky ones escaped to neighboring countries, but many are stranded. Their only hope is an end to the fighting. No one here expects a breakthrough, but the United Nations hopes to get the feuding factions start a political process. It might take a long time, but they say it's the only way to stop violence and put an end to the suffering of civilians. Hashim Al Jazeera, Geneva.